Robots are taking our jobs, but there's less hair in the food. A nail salon employee pled guilty after holding 13 remote IT jobs. And men are shaving off their eyelashes. Why are they shaving off their eyelashes? These are the weird stories on Weird AF News. It's the only daily weird news podcast on the planet. Actually, in the galaxy. Actually, in the universe. Robots are taking our jobs, but there's less hair in our fast food. It's happening, guys. My friends, the robots are taking our jobs. Did you know? It's good news. No sick days, bathroom breaks, no more curly hairs in your hamburger buns. Just cold, hard robot efficiency as we move forward into the bright future. More specifically, the Burger Bot. Have you heard of the Burger Bot? This is a new fast food joint where robots do all the work that humans don't want to do, like working on a burger assembly line. This Burger Bot joint is in Los Gatos, California, one of the San Francisco Bay Area's more affluent areas. It's a shiny new fancy food concept, fast food concept, that has popped up inside one of the trendy upscale brunch spots. Burger Bots. They've teamed up with ABB Robotics. They've unleashed a pair of what they're calling IRB 360 flex pickers, along with Yumi cobots, to pump out some tasty burgers for the masses in 27 seconds. Is that fast to make a burger? I'm assuming that doesn't include the cook time. They just kind of assemble it in 27 seconds. I could put a burger together in half a minute. Come on. You give me the ingredients and the burger's already cooked. Will you have a hair in your burger from the top of my head? Or maybe from one of my noses? Nostrils? Yeah, you might. I'm not perfect. But, I know the robots you're not going to get a hair, but you might get a bit of like WD-40 in your burger, right? Maybe bits of wire, which one could say wire is the hair of robots. I'd rather get a hair in my mouth than break a tooth on a steel screw. And here's the good news, guys. These machines, they make a burger that costs $18. It's $18 for a burger made by a robot. I'm going to pay more for a robot to nut in my food. Awesome. These are all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame bun with surgical precision. I guess, part of that $18 goes for how exact they put everything together, and every condiment is been measured specifically, not sloppy at all. Well, let me tell you something. I want a sloppily thrown together fast food burger by a human. Those burgers have personality, man. Yeah, there might be a pube in it, but you know what? It's made with love. Can a robot make a burger with love? I don't know about that. Can you program love into that? I don't think so. Now, this Burger Bot company claims that every burger is perfectly consistent every single time, and they're also promoting zero attitude. They say this is a far cry from little Billy, who's never had a job before and is on day one of training and experiencing rush hour for the very first time. Well, hey, ye a little faith, believe in Billy. Billy will get it together, He might be in the weeds for a few times his first week at the job, but he'll figure it out. It's a good growing process for little Billy working at the fast food joint with all his pimples on his chin. From the dawn of fast food, we've had little pimply chin Billy working the fast food joint, working the fryolator, figuring it out, and at the same time figuring out life. What's wrong with that? The article says, now before you totally freak out, all right, you should also know that there are humans working there, a full staff of human beings with real human bodies and skin, metabolisms going on. They're employed at the restaurant as well. Let's find out what they do. The robots, for now, only handle the burger production operation, from grinding the meat and griddling it up to tossing it onto a conveyor belt assembly line. They then assemble the ingredients and kick out a complete, ready-to-eat, perfect burger back to a human server to be dished out to a waiting guest. So the human takes the burger. The robot only makes the burger. The human takes the order, I assume, and then gives out the bathroom key. The robots do the repetitive, boring stuff while supposedly leaving people more time for hospitality and other people-y things. Well, to be honest, I would like a little more hospitality at fast food places. You usually don't get a whole hell of a lot of that at the fast food place. They just kind of growl at you and, you know, slide a tray over to you. There's very little connection going on. So maybe, maybe this will free up the employees to sit down and outside and have smoke a joint with me. That'd be nice. I get lonely. Who wouldn't want to work at that fast food place? Hey, we got robots doing the crappy work, so you can go get high with the customers at the picnic table behind the In-N-Out. That would be awesome. It's just something I'm coming up with here. We got a quote here from a guy named Mark, who's president of these robots. He says, I guess he's the robot overlord, you could say. He says, quote, "The food industry is dynamic and demanding, and our technology brings industrial-grade consistency, efficiency, and reliability to the space. By taking over repetitive and time-consuming tasks, robots allow the staff to focus on what matters most, creating memorable dining experiences for you, for your family." Now, the robotics company actually did a survey among hospitality workers, and they found that 67% actually want robots to take over the boring, gross, and dangerous tasks. Exactly what a robot company would want. So, the robot company's doing the survey. You can't believe that. Examine the messenger, guys. Always examine the messenger. If the company that's making money off the survey presents the survey, I'm going to say a little bit skewed. Now, granted, I'm sure some employees would like repetitive tasks done by a robot. But when you look at the bigger picture of lost jobs here, and that's taken into consideration, these are entry-level positions that some of these employees could sneak their cousin in on, you know what I mean? Hey, you're going to start over here. You're going to start doing the meaningless jobs, the boring jobs, but then you move up and now you're where I'm at, talking to the people. And if you ask these same people, hey, keep in mind what the end game probably is for the robotics company. Now, do you want this replacement? They're probably going to say, no, thank you, because the end game for the robotics company is to replace all of us with robots. I assume that would make sense. That would make more money for them. But they always put it on us like, no, don't worry. They're going to do the boring jobs. They're going to free it up so you can do the exciting stuff. Or they're like, you know what, robots are going to do all the jobs, and we'll have all sorts of free time on our hands to live our lives the way we want to and find our passion. They just hope that our passion's going to be dumpster diving because that's how we're going to have to provide for ourselves after the robots take all our damn jobs. A nail salon employee pleads guilty to holding 13 other jobs remotely worked by developers in China. This sounds very convoluted. Let's break this down here. A 40-year-old Maryland man is facing decades in prison after he allegedly worked with foreign nationals in China to get remote work, as in remote IT jobs, with at least 13 different U.S. companies. The jobs paid him more than $1 million in salary for software development tasks that were actually not performed by him, but by operatives authorities say are North Korean. All right, let me try and wrap my cranium around this so that you, henceforth, can wrap your cranium around this. This guy outsourced jobs under his name, I believe, while he just was kicking it at a nail salon. 13 jobs just outsourced to other companies. Do this all the time. It's called outsourcing, right? I guess when a guy does it, some individual man, it's like, nope, can't do that. Dude, you should have created an LLC. What were you thinking? It says the China-based developers used the company IT jobs, some of which involved contracting out software services to U.S. government agencies like the Federal Aviation Administration, to get access to highly sensitive government systems that they logged on to from overseas. According to the Department of Justice, the Maryland man's scheme is part of a vast fraud operation in which trained North Korean nationals work with American facilitators to fraudulently obtain remote work IT jobs under various identities, do the work from Russia or China, and then illegally remit their salaries to Kim Jong-un, authoritarian leader of North Korea. Did you get all that? This is very... I probably shouldn't have dove into this story because I don't even know. I'm not even sure if I completely understand it. I understand the guy got jobs under his own identity for other people, but I'm not sure how this is connected to North Korea. The money's going to North Korea to fund, I don't know, His burritos. Kim Jong-un eats a lot of burritos. They're saying this is a conspiracy. There's Americans involved. They pleaded guilty to hosting computer farms where they keep dozens of company-issued laptops in their homes for a fee so that it appears the work is being done in the United States. The government estimates that the scheme generates revenue between 250 and 600 million each year, which funds North Korea's illegal nuclear weapons program. Oh boy, it's a conspiracy wrapped up in a mystery, folded into a conundrum. Let's get back to the guy who had all these people working for him while he was just filing some nails at a nail salon. Just imagine, you got all these people working under you illegally. You're getting these checks rolling in. I don't know why you hand it over to Kim Jong-un for his nuclear plans. That seems foolish. Just, vacation, bro. Buy some crypto. What's wrong with you? Or just have a good life at the nail salon, and drive a Rolls Royce to the nail salon. This guy's got upper management quality is what I'm talking about here. This guy should be employee of the month. We're talking about people can't find one job. You got robots stealing jobs. Meanwhile, this guy, he gets jobs for 13 of his friends. Takes a cut. What are the charges, Your Honor, of being totally awesome? What am I guilty of, Your Honor? Being a boss banger, it would seem. I don't recommend this for important jobs. You don't want to be outsourcing safety jobs to just random mofos. This is where you get airplane doors just falling off left and right while they're in the sky. But little IT jobs. All right, before we dismount from this very confusing story, I'm just going to get into how this guy got caught. His name is Vong. That's his name. At one of the 13 jobs, someone who identified himself as Vong allegedly joined an online interview with a senior software developer who recommended he get the job and took a screenshot of him during that first meeting. The CEO of a Virginia-based company later hired him after a successful final interview in which Vong allegedly showed his Maryland driver's license and passport to confirm his identity, and the company took a screenshot of Vong a second time holding up the documents. Okay. Court records show authorities believe these screen grabs are of two different people. One who is allegedly a North Korean IT worker posing as Vong, and another who is the real Vong from Maryland holding his license and passport. So if you think you can get away with this stuff, eventually they're going to take screenshots and they want IDs. Obviously, it's a job. It's a job. I don't know how you do this and not get caught at a meeting or during some performance review. Does he just zoom in and pretend to be these people for the performance reviews? It's a very complex system he has here. And he would have got away with it, too, if it wasn't for those meddling HR kids. Now, is there any takeaway from this? Any lesson that can be gleaned from this? I guess it's follow your dreams. Don't take no for an answer. If someone says you can't be in charge of a division of a company, believe in yourself. You can. You can. Albeit illegally, but you can do it. And then you could just kick back at the nail salon. To me, the best part is that he works full-time in a nail salon while all this goes on. That is just so funny to me. I don't know why. What would be sillier than you having all these people work for you and you working at a nail salon? I guess it would be something like having all of these people work under your identification and sending you a check every month while you just umpire Little League games. Something like that. Grown men are shaving off their eyebrows in a new trend. From stopping dust and dirt getting into your eyes to promoting our blink reflex, eyelashes do much more than just make our face look so pretty, which makes it very difficult to explain this new social media trend of men trimming down or even entirely shaving off their eyelashes in a bid to look, quote, more masculine. I've never heard of this. Have you heard about men shaving off their eyelashes to look more masculine? Is this really a trend? Videos posted on TikTok. Oh boy, TikTok. My goodness. TikTok. Just really adding to the culture, huh? Just creating just very problem-solving behaviors that we need to see in the world. It says in recent weeks, these videos show men braving blades very close to their eyes in barbershops from Turkey to New Zealand in a quest for stubby, short eyelashes. While some barbers are seen wielding buzzing electric clippers, others are freestyling with just a pair of hairdressing scissors and hopefully a steady hand. You mean to tell me people are paying for you to put electric clippers right near your eyeballs? Seems very dangerous. Something you wouldn't pay for. Why would you trim your eyelashes? It's so bizarre. Got Vicky here. She's a ophthalmic oculoplastic surgeon at a college in London. She says, eyelashes are vital for both visual performance, visual experience, and eye health. Said it well. She says, as well as acting as a barrier and a trigger for the protective blink reflex, eyelashes help produce airflow over the eyes, maintaining moisture, keeping the eyes healthy and comfortable, filtering intense sunlight, reducing glare, and improving visual qualities. Yeah, in other words, eyelashes do the body good, as we've known for a million years on this earth. We've evolved with eyelashes for a reason. While Lee said eyelashes follow a natural growth cycle, shedding and regrowing over time, she added that there are many reasons why removing them, per the methods seen on TikTok, is a very bad idea. She says improper removal can lead to complications. Cutting or trimming your eyelashes can cause discomfort and irritation, as it can leave a sharp, stubby end that rubs on your ocular surface. She said not to mention the risk of causing potential injury to your eye. Yeah, I mean, we need them. So when you get rid of them, it just makes sense that not good. Not good. Jonesy, can you talk? Like not a Neanderthal? I'll try my best. The article says, in today's increasingly masculine political climate, fueled by controversial online manosphere figures such as Andrew Tate and Joe Rogan, it is easy to see why some men are eager to repress anything about their appearance that could be construed as overtly feminine. Oh, okay. So these are dumb bros is what's going on here. This is not a trend. I wouldn't be worried about this being an overall concerning trend. This is just dummies. Because, like, if you take your life tips from people like Andrew Tate and Joe Rogan, yeah, you're missing brain cells. That's what's going on. Sadly. I hope you get help. In this story, they interviewed a 48-year-old guy named Spencer. He said, I got a lot of flack over the years about my thick, dark eyelashes, but I definitely wouldn't take the clippers to them. Comments are usually from other men who say that they're girly, despite the fact I'm also 6'2". They ask if I'm wearing eye makeup or more recently if my eyelashes are fake, but my wife likes them. They seem to really bother some of my guy friends, though. Yeah, Spencer, well, maybe get new friends. Good for you, though, for not shaving them off. I mean, you have to be highly insecure, very, to a pathological degree. This article has some political commentary on it, talking about gender traditionalism on the rise among Republican voters in the U.S. It says Republicans increasingly endorse what a survey called Traditional Notions of Masculinity, with more than 3/4 of Republican men and women agreeing with the view that what it means to be a man has changed, and we don't think that has been good for society. Oh, and so your solution is to shave off eyelashes, make life difficult for you, make it so that you can't really visit a beach. The eyelashes help at the beach, guys. Keep that sand out of there. It helps in way more ways than just the beach. I'm just throwing that out there. When a tree fell on my car windshield when I was driving, glass just shattered and went all over my face and head. My eyelashes saved my eyes in that moment, and I was so grateful for them. My eyelashes are a little longer than your average eyelash, I'd say. They used to be much longer when I was younger. Used to be very beautiful, long eyelashes. Now they're not as long, but they definitely saved me that evening. How much glass would I have in my eye? I'd be blind right now. I'd be a blind podcaster. The article says a recent study among Republican men said that over half of them thought that women should return to their traditional roles in society. You know what I'm talking about. In the kitchen. Get your butt in the kitchen. After you help me shave my eyelashes off, honey. Right after you put my beard cream on, baby. Now get in the kitchen and dry those dishes after our robot dishwasher washes them. I did the robot callback right there in this story. I do callbacks sometimes. I think they largely go unnoticed. It's kind of the comedian in me. I'm addicted to them. Anyways, what are we learning from this? We're learning that long eyelashes are gay. Never be caught dead with long eyelashes. Keeping dust and debris out of my eyes. That's gay. What's wrong with you? Just want to let everybody know according to these traditional men, I'm super gay. I wore sunscreen on Sunday while playing softball. Well, can you believe it? And, I played softball also. Can you imagine what they think of that? I don't know. What lessons can we glean from this? Well, first of all, I don't think this is a mainstream activity. I think it's like a very small subgroup in the culture, but this article by CNN is putting it out like it's a norm. CNN stooping to this level. Remember when, one of the bastions of journalism now, CNN is down to this. All of our major news outlets are now putting out just bogus, awful crapola like this. I mean, I'm a cover it because it's weird, but, I'm not buying into this as like something we need to concern ourselves with. And if you are, cutting off your eyelashes, that's your own terrible personal decision. You do what you want. This is a free country. You want to, shave off your eyelashes, go right ahead, man. I'm going to maintain my lashes because they protect me. They protect me from foreign objects that get in my eyes. Although I could probably say 90% of the time when there is a foreign object in my eye, it happens to be an eyelash. I think they call that irony. And we got something to listen to. Weird news. It's on every platform here afar. It's weird. And it never, ever ends. Come on, guys. Weird news on every platform. You see what I'm trying to do here? I saw a Bee Gees documentary last week. Man, blew my mind. These guys are awesome. So awesome. They remind me of you, listener. You're awesome, too. And maybe you sing falsetto in the shower. I don't know what you're into. Maybe you're good at that kind of stuff. But anyways, if you do, maybe send me your recording. funnyjones@gmail.com. I'm into it. Well, it'd be funny if this ended up being like the request I made for Pod Daddy. Next thing you know, I wake up tomorrow with all kinds of people doing Bee Gees impressions in my mailbox. I'm on Instagram at funnyjones, and my number is 646-450-2012. Yeah, and if you want to donate to the show because you believe in me, I don't know why you would, but maybe you do. Maybe you do. Maybe you want to see me better myself in life. Maybe you want to see me emerge from the closet eventually and have my own studio. Anyways, you can do that by going to weirdafnews.com. Woo! I know. Crazy, huh? Where'd I get that idea? Anyways, you can buy me a coffee or join the Patreon there. No pressure. No pressure. Support the show. You can support the show for free by telling your arch enemy to listen to Weird AF News, the podcast, available on all podcast platforms. Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyways, I'm off till tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.